What's up, guys? So I just came back from MEPs like at 3 o'clock this morning, or this afternoon. Um, it's now like 8 o'clock, so I just woke up from my nap, but like I thought I would just talk about my experience at MEPs while it's still fresh in my mind. So MEPS stands for Military Entrance Processing Station, and it's like the physical exam that you have to do if you're going through enlistment or OCS. Luckily for you, if you're doing service academy, you won't have to go through MEPS. Lucky for you, it's the most boring, mundane, life-sucking thing I've ever done in my life. Like, I would rather do a PFT every day of the week than do this again. But, so yeah, I'm gonna talk about my experience. This is gonna be very unfiltered. Like, I'm gonna curse out like I'm tired, I don't give a fuck, and it was shitty. So, let's get started. Smiles. So, first thing you do is you stay overnight in a hotel in Houston. Well, in this case, it was Houston because it was closer to me. And the hotel is paid for by the government, so you don't gotta pay a dime for it. But you walk in and let's see. So I had stayed in that hotel before at Free Press Summerfest, Houston. It was like a music festival, so I was like, oh, it's just a normal like check-in a hotel. So you walk up to the front desk. I walked up to the front desk and I was like, oh, I have a reservation for MEPS. And she's like, oh, MEPS? Oh, it's back here. And I'm like, where? So I went back there and it was like in an abandoned section of the hotel. Like, they clearly did not want normal guests to see all these like kids trying to go into the military. Like, I was walking through empty halls after empty halls, and then finally there's like a small room and there was like a woman checking in all these like kids that like some of them are about to ship out tomorrow, and there was like a whole bunch of TVs and video games on there and movies, and I thought that was just really strange because I thought this was just like a normal hotel check-in, but already it wasn't even normal. So went up and she was a bit cranky, but she was okay. But yeah, dinner was provided. I guess I didn't eat dinner. And she gave me a room card, and all the floors are separated by gender, I guess, because they don't want these crazy kids to, you know, do dirty stuff, you know, teenagers. And then God, I'm so tired, I can't even think. So all these kids, okay, so like I was the only one going through the officer program there, and all these other kids were going through enlisted. So I thought this was a little strange because I went into the elevator and there's this kid and I was like, sup, dude? And he was like, sup, what branch you going to? And I'm like, Marines. And he's like, oh, well, I'm shipping out for Coast Guard tomorrow. And I was like, oh, that's cool, man. And he's like, yeah, I joined Coast Guard because Navy's for pussies. I'm like, okay, I mean, you haven't even started boot camp and you're pretty scrawny. I don't know. Like, I don't think that gives you credibility to say anything. Especially, and literally no one says Navy is for pussies compared to Coast Guard. But anyway, that was already strange. Luckily, the room was pretty normal, like a normal, nice hotel room. Went to bed at 11, cause MEPS, I was told to go to MEPS at 5 in the morning, so I woke up at 3:30 in the morning. Never gonna do that again. You know, you woke up early when someone posts a Snapchat story saying how they're staying up super late to do their homework, and they only posted it 2 hours before you woke up. So I really don't want to do that again. But anyway, so wake up. I left earlier than everyone to just so I can get there on time, find parking. I drove there instead of taking the shuttle like the enlisted kids. So I was busy. I spent like 30 minutes trying to find a parking garage, somewhere to park. Then I went into MEPs. Everyone was waiting outside in a line. And then an army captain came out and he's like, "All right, everyone, move in right now." And I was like, "Oh shit." I mean, it's nothing new for me. Like, I've seen military people before, so it's whatever. So you walk in, you put everything through a metal detector because it is a federal building. So we put all your metal stuff in there in my belt, and then when when the bin went through, took I took a little more time than necessary to put on my belt, and the captain was like, "You're holding up the line. Just do it in the elevator. Go, go, go." I was like, "Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir." So I went in the elevator, put on my belt, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is fucking fun already." And then go to the third floor, and everyone lines up on the side of the hall. All these kids, and everyone's like already scared because this is like their first time actually interacting with like strict military people other than like recruiters. So yeah, then you get sorted into a room based on the branch you're going to. So in this case, I was in the Marines, and the Marine guys were chill. They were like, "Are you gonna address us as yes sir, no sir? If you have a question, ask me. And if you know my rank, just address that." And everyone was like, "Yes sir, yes sir." And I know my Marine rank, so I was like, "Yes, Staff Sergeant." He was like, "Yeah, motivator right here." I was like, "Yeah, awesome, dude." So then, everything was going okay, and then one of the Marines was like, "Chan, why didn't you check out the hotel this morning?" I was like, "Oh shit." I was like, Staff Sergeant," and he's like, "No, I'm not a fucking Staff Sergeant. Don't fucking demote me. I'm a Gunnery Sergeant." I'm like, "Oh, fuck me, okay. Gunnery Sergeant, I didn't know where to check in, so I was just trying to leave here early." He's like, "You know how expensive it is? You almost charged me an extra night in that hotel, and it's a lot of money, and you held up the bus. Why didn't you check out?" And I was like, no excuse, Gunnery Sergeant, no excuse." And then that was the answer he wanted, so like, he's like, "All right, well, especially you, since you're trying to be an officer in the Marines, accountability is very important, so you always got to keep track of your Marines, all right?" I'm like, "Yes, Gunnery Sergeant, yes." So he's like, "All right, you don't, you're an officer, so you don't have to like stay in here for some other stuff. I don't know what they did." But he's like, "All right, leave your phone here and go up to go get your like name tag." So you go, you bring your social security, your not your birth certificate, your social security and driver's license. They give you a name tag. Mine had a green sticker on it to show that I was in the officer program. This let me skip a lot of lines for the medical part, which is awesome. I only did it when they asked me to because I didn't want to like be a pretentious asshole and like say, "Oh, I'm an officer. Get the fuck behind me." No, I didn't want that. But yeah. But I'll get to that later. So after you get your name tag, they tell everyone to go to the second floor, and you go into this classroom. You listen to like 2 hours worth of boring ass briefs. First one was by 2 army captains. They were kind of funny, because they're captains, so they have a little more chill life. But they were hyping up the enlisted life. They're like, "All right, after your medical exam, you're gonna go tell them what you want for your MOS/job. Tell them exactly what you want. If you want a yellow Lamborghini, you tell them you want a yellow Lamborghini, and we'll get it for you. If you want to make $20,000 as a cook, because that does happen, you can earn $20,000 as a cook." And I'm like, that's so full of horseshit. That's not how military actually works. You don't normally get exactly what you want. They try to trick you with all these contracts. But in the back of my head, like, I was hoping I wouldn't have to choose my MOS yet, because I have no idea what I actually want to do in the Marines. I'm still trying to, like, get through it. But anyway, so listen to that bullshit, and then a Coast Guard corpsman comes in, and she talks about all the important stuff you can do in the medical exam, how they're gonna check your dick, your junk, your boobs, your ass, being honest about everything, and you fill out a bunch of forms, and she talks to y'all as if y'all are retarded, but yeah, she looks like she hates her life, but yeah, so you suffer through that. Then you start your medical exam after like being there for 3 hours. And then, let's see. So you start your medical exam. Okay, so I did the hearing test first. None of these were actually hard. It's just after getting only 3 hours of sleep that night, like your mind starts to like really not process anything. So like the hearing test, you had to like listen for beeps and press a button if you heard a beep. But like I wasn't sure if I was so tired I was just hearing things, but I guess I passed that. Then you do your vision test. Same thing as a hearing test. I was so sleep deprived that my eyes were like going crazy. Like, so there was a Navy woman. I don't know her rank. I don't know Navy ranks that well, but she like puts 4 circles under a microscope, and like you have to see which one is popping out at you. And for me, like all the circles were freaking moving around, and I was like, oh my god. I guess I passed that. You do a colorblind test to see, you just had to say which color is red, which color is green, which color is white. Not too hard, but some kid today found out he was colorblind through that test because every time a white light would come up, he could only see a white light. So that was crazy, but you do that. You do your, let's see, do your urine test, you pee in a cup. Guy who's in charge of that is grouchy, but you know what, just pee in a cup. Hold your pee in the whole time so you don't like get shy. So you pee in your cup, they just like, yeah, they test for drugs and that. You also have to do a breathalyzer, make sure you didn't drink any alcohol. You should be fine unless you're a complete dumbass. And then you do your blood test, they draw a little bit of blood. If you've drawn blood before, it shouldn't be a problem. They use it to check for AIDS. So you do that, then you go into another room for your physical. So at this point, like, it's been a couple hours because you're just waiting in line, and then 1% at a time goes. Luckily, I was able to get it done a little bit faster because I had priority in line because I'm in the officer program. Oh, and one kid was like, when he saw me go in front of him, he was like, what the hell? And he was like telling everyone, oh, damn, like I wish I was an officer. If I went in, they'll be like, oh, you're too dumb, and just turn me away. So I was like, oh, shoot. I felt really bad about that, but I didn't want to be there any longer, so I was like, whatever. So after your urine test and all that, you go into another room for your physical. So right before you go in, they're like, all right, when you go in, you take off all your clothes except for your underwear, and you sit in the back of the room. So you're waiting a longest time for a doctor to come fondle your dick, check your ass, check all your normal stuff, and then after that, you go back into that waiting room, and there was an army guy. He was pretty chill, but like, he just makes you like do a bunch of jumping and like crouching, just to make sure you have like basic motor functions. And I think that was mostly it. But then like the doctor wrote down that I had a bunch of earwax buildup, so I needed ear cleaning that day. So I was like, oh, fuck me. So went back to the guy who took blood and told him I need an ear cleaning from you. He was like, oh damn, okay. So sat me in a chair, like, okay, so let me just say that most of you who go to MEPs won't ever have to do this, but if you're unlucky like me and have nasty ass ears, you have to do this, and I'll just tell you that this is the worst part of MEPs. Like, it feels like you're getting ear raped. Like, he puts this hose in your ear and fucking shoots a jet of water in there, and then after that he like gets this long tweezer and like digs really deep in your ear, and it was just horrible. Like, I had to do that for an hour, and he was like, oh, I can't clean this one ear that well. If the doc doesn't check you off, let you pass with this one, you'll have to come back another day. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? So I went back to the doc, and he was like, well, since you passed your hearing test, I'm just gonna let you go so you don't have to come back here. I'm like, thank you so much. So went out, gave my form to this guy who had to put down all my information. That guy was an asshole to me, but I was like, whatever, fuck you, just type my shit down. And then, yeah, and then after that, I was done. It only took 7 hours for me, and yeah, it was just so boring and mundane. If you're enlisted, you'll probably have like a swear-in ceremony later that day, so all your family could come. Luckily, I didn't have to do that because I just wanted to get out of there. But yeah, honestly, it's not like super hard maps. It's just long, miserable, and boring. Can't have your phone at all the whole time, and everyone's just like cranky and hates their lives. Yeah, so that's about it. So if you're going through Service Academy, you don't have to do maps at all. Go through .merp, which is a lot faster and more chill. But yeah, so that's my experience at MEPS. If you have any questions, ask me. And yeah, I'll probably post another video later about something. Peace.